to raise it high on the hottest radio station in Harare, day and night. It's on Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat. #9. Deep dive.
Alrighty then, so we've got a very important discussions today. Remember, as I mentioned before, send through a voice note of, a moment that you feel actually transformed your life, or something that really, really you remember about us as Capitalk 100.4 FM. We're 24 hours left before we actually celebrate our birthday. We're turning 9. That's why you're hearing a whole lot of 9 and a fly. That's what we're all about. And of course, just helping us as well to just go through some of this. We're going to be having a little bit of a discussion. Now, one of the headlines which really not really threw me back, because I kind of know that this is the quality and the caliber of the man himself, was to actually see a former Capitalk 100.4 FM station manager, in actual fact, the pioneering station manager, Mr. Napoleon Nyani, also being appointed to the board of the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority. And of course, you can go in the Herald and you can check out that headline. But he is also with the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe and has been spearheading so much in that particular regard. So I am honored as well to interview my former boss and a Capitalk 100.4 FM station manager, that is Mr. Napoleon Nyani. Good evening to you, Napoleon. Great to have you.
Good evening, Rainbow. Thanks so much for having me. Happy birthday to Capitalk.
Yes, 100%. Can we look forward to Hansi Zurukuta Ramazona, Anonzi Magunanzi?
Every year to Tumira Magunanzi.
100%. Well, thank you very much once again for endearing us. I know you are a very, very, very busy man, and I was so lucky to actually get a hold of you at such short notice. But once again, congratulations on your appointment to the ZTA board. Maybe let's start off with that. The appointment with the ZTA board, how did that come about? I mean, what were the conversations maybe behind the scenes as you were then considered for this, and obviously you coming on board?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners. So, board appointments normally happen in terms of specific skill sets that the organization would be looking for. So it seems to me, in terms of the conversations that happened in the last 6 months, that the Ministry of Tourism had a view towards increasing their impact on cultural tourism. I'm sure you would have noticed there's been a lot of work that has gone into through the Ministry of Tourism into issues of national dress. That's all cultural tourism. I'm sure you know Jirarenyika, a lot of people have taken pride in the national dress, in the designs that have been put forward. And those have happened through the Ministry of Tourism. They're trying to push cultural tourism. There's also been a big effort towards cultural diplomacy, where through tourism and through cultural work, you go into different countries, sell who you are. That's cultural diplomacy. Sell who you are to them. They start to like your culture, your style, your vibe, the way you do things as a people, and then they are open more to doing business with you. So that's the cultural diplomacy that has also been going on with the Ministry of Tourism. So I then gathered that they want to ramp it up, include arts, include different areas of expression that we have as a people, and use those to rebrand the country, not rebrand, but to further entrench the brand as a preferred culture in the world, by that, people are also then drawn to visit the country if they like the culture. So that's how this came about, in my estimation, because I'm not the appointing authority. So eventually you'll have to ask the Minister of Tourism herself what it is that she thought. But that's my understanding of the appointment.
Yeah, I would also like to just throw in a jibe there and say, well, I think they also thought you are a very smart man, so might as well, put you amongst them as well with some of the ideas that you generate. But all right, so you've given somewhat a bit of a background, especially in terms of really trying to ramp up that. Let's come back a little bit in terms of the arts and culture side. I know there was a bit of a strategy. A bit of a strategy that was put in place that you spearheaded as well. How do you feel maybe this might also fall in line with the role that you'll be playing at the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority?
I believe everything that the arts does, when we're in the arts and culture area, which we call the cultural and creative industries, everything we do in the CCIs, cultural and creative industries, its end result is tourism. So whenever we are pushing our music as a nation, whenever we're talking about our fashion as a nation, when we talk about our dance, our sculptures, our literary works, our ceramics, our body art, our street art, everything that we do in art and culture area, its end goal is that people should fall in love with who we are so that they visit us. When they visit us, we then gain revenue from their spending when they come here, whether it's through airlines, through hotels, through even kutenga majigis, shops. All that is revenue that then goes into the national coffers. So the strategy for the Arts Council, if we're talking about, okay, we need to position our artists to grow, we need to get more opportunities for artists to have exchange programs, to go and perform at festivals internationally. All of those things that we're doing, whether it is about the famous Shona sculpture that is everywhere in the world, talk about our different visual artists that are making major waves in different markets around the world, whether we're talking about our fashion, whatever it is that we're talking about, and strategizing for. If we do not have the end goal in mind, which is where this synergy works perfectly, because now we can put the ending. I'll give you an example of Hollywood. The USA does not have a tourism department or a ministry of tourism, so to say. They don't need it. Hollywood does all that work for them. All they need is a movie.
Yeah.
All they need is a music video. And that sells the nation without having to put out an advert, without having to say, come, we've got all these nice places. They just put out a movie. And that movie does everything. When that movie is done, people want to visit and see the White House. They want to visit and go see the Hollywood sign. They want to visit and go see the Grand Canyon. No tourist marketing did that. They saw it in a movie. And those places are huge tourist destinations because of Hollywood. So that's what we're saying now, that we are excited as the arts fraternity by this recognition, because when we then tie our work together, it produces a much, much bigger impact when the arts or the creative and cultural industries are tied together with the tourism industries. We create a very formidable force.
All right. And you mentioned something very important there in terms of... And it's funny you're actually saying that it has been a discussion that I was having with various peers, in that, whenever you watch my series, they say, Eco States, police yawo yakapenga, masite nawo akapenga, they've got the latest gear, they've got chi. So it gives this image and obviously portrays this image that they've got absolutely everything in order. Now, I believe as well that in order for that kind of picture to be portrayed, it also comes with the quality of the movies that they put out. From a National Arts Council perspective, maybe what are some of the things that you have been trying to do or trying to work out with the artists on the ground, producers, directors of any form of creative content? What has been the discussion to try and up the quality to match the international standards, such as what we see maybe with a Bollywood or a Nollywood as well?
Thank you very much. That is a very pertinent question and subject matter. In the last 2 weeks, there have been engagements with content creators specifically. The National Arts Council participated in an engagement that happened at Istesa, which is the film school, where we met with content creators and we were discussing issues of them being compliant with regulations and becoming more formal in their operations. It was just a training workshop where we're trying to teach them how to become official. Because content creation is the new thing. Everyone can be a content creator with a phone. But how do you become, how can we take you seriously? How do you become official? And how can you be able to be a player in the formal space? How can you be able to get grants, get loans, and grow and scale your business? Yes, you've got the gift, but how do you scale? Another workshop that happened, which is what then tied it all together, which was hosted by the national broadcaster, where they then brought together content creators as well and the National Arts Council, and they started to unravel some of the things that we've been discussing behind closed doors between the ZBC and the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe to create an environment and a work flow where we can improve the quality of our content. So with that quality, 90% of quality comes from money. It comes from the correct equipment, it comes from the correct training, it comes from having the correct gear, whether mastheads or my lights or all those things, and also being able to use actors that are proper and that are well trained, all those little things that come into creating a good production on the content creation side. So that's what we are now working towards. I'm sure you've seen the headlines that have been trending, where the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services announced yesterday that there is a press that has been set aside for content creation. And this is working through the ZBC together with the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe to try and find people who are legitimate, who are registered, who are doing proper work, right? And then help them to up their game so that, like you're saying, when we then watch, maonera tinongoitawo content yeku America, yeku Bollywood, yeku Nigeria, yeku South Africa, and it entices us as Zimbabweans to feel like, zvinhu zvavo uku zvakarongeka, or zvine mutsindo, or zvakanaka. We see their police uniforms or their what. We are then able to also translate that and do it here in Zimbabwe and produce high quality content that can get other countries to also feel like Zimbabwe, there's something going on. There's good that is coming out of Zimbabwe, and maybe we should pay attention.
Wow, definitely quite a lot there to actually chew on, especially with some of the meetings that you've had. Just in case you've tuned in, it is Capitalk 100.4 FM. We are Harare's Heartbeat. We are celebrating 9 years and we continue to fly. Hashtag 9 and fly throughout this year. And we're having a conversation with the current director at the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe, newly appointed to the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority Board, former Capitalk 100.4 FM station manager, a creative within himself. I think if I just put him within just that umbrella of a creative, because he's worn so many hats over his life, you definitely know him. It's Mr. Napoleon Nyani, and some of you may have heard him on air. He used to be on air hosting various shows at our sister station Star FM and even here at Capitalk 100.4 FM, and we're discussing obviously his appointment to the ZTA board and how culture and tourism are coming together. You can also get in touch with us on 0719 100 404 if you'd like to ask him a question, especially on how maybe you would expect him to bring certain aspects to the fore. Now, Napoleon, I would like to ask maybe your general thought pattern or maybe your general thoughts on the more recent phenomenon that trended, that was iShow Speed coming into Zimbabwe. Is currently on his African tour, and he made an impact in Zimbabwe. I think we saw he had 47 million plus live views as he was going about his business. Is there any way that you feel maybe we could have taken more advantage of someone who has got such a following, who has got such eyes? And do you feel maybe that the cultural or the creative industry could have benefited anything in terms of learning what is happening in the West, or maybe some of the trends that someone like iShow Speed carries?
Thank you. Absolutely. To answer your question, yes, obviously we could have done more. But I believe we did really well. When I say we could have done more, it's only because hindsight is perfect. Some people say 2020, hindsight is 2020 vision, you know?
Yeah.
When you're looking back, then you can pinpoint and say, we could have done better, we could have done better. But it's not like anyone really knew or expected what happened. We're all in the dark.
Yeah.
And we all, and those that were planned what they could. Remember, this was a private visit, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
So his team engaged some people, engaged an organization here in the country and said, please plan these things for us. So it wasn't necessarily to say it's a Zimbabwe thing or anything, even though the impact, however, was very national. It was very widespread, and it was very exciting, if I may say so, because the level of viewership was incredible. I do not know if there's ever been a live that has happened on our soil that has ever had that many immediate live engagements.
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, which where we can get more than twice the size of our population as a whole country being live, watching our country. What I was very happy about with that stream is that we were authentically asked. What people saw was Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Yes, culture, some of it is borrowed culture and all of that, which says the best Maplete Daga, what you call it, China.
Yeah.
You bring out you bring out all the nice things and you put your very best foot forward. What we may think is kunyadzisa in terms of what people were seeing on TV. It may be exactly what the American market or the international market is hoping to see, and is what we can actually sell.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Taking iShow Speed to Mbare or to Mabuku or to the different places where he went. Zimbabweans, sometimes, because of our snootiness and it's not British, village, Borkel, or but those things cannot be tourist destinations. They cannot be attractions. Because it's not a big deal to them. But if they see happiness and joy on the face of a little boy who's in Bari, where it looks like, oh my gosh, oh, they're suffering, oh, there's so much struggle there. And then they see that, no. The people are happy. The people are okay. There is more joy in this place that you people think has no life than the joy that you have in your concrete jungle and in the places that you have created your fiefdoms and you think this is what life is. No, we've got a natural life here in Africa. We enjoy our mangoes straight from the tree. We enjoy, our children play on the streets and they run around with no shoes on and they don't get sick from that. And, so all these things that we think could be the things that they actually were very much impressed by.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Authenticity and uniqueness are some of the things I guess we're tending to run away from, especially when it comes to borrowed culture and things like that. Now, Napoleon, once again, I know that I really caught you right in the wind, but I just want to maybe look for a parting question to then just say, as Capitalk 100.4 FM, we are now celebrating 9 years. You had the wonderful privilege of leading us into the initial years, the first years, and your general thoughts on how this product has grown and ultimately what we have become as something that you envisioned from so far back.
I will say I'm very proud and happy to see what has become of Capitalk FM. I congratulate all that have been part of this journey and this growth, and what has come of it is something that is very formidable. I say congratulations to people like Ruimbo Chakoreka who have held it together, really, from day one. From day one, where we were in a little room with no curtains, with very little to work with, and with a dream. And I'm impressed to see what has become of the dream. The conversations that I've had with Yvonne Tiachke, the station manager, and whenever I listen to the station, I'm just in awe. I'm like, wow. Because I also know how some of the mentors, where they started, people like yourself, people like Ash Titua, who's now mostly on Star FM, and all these brands, and I thought, wow, where they started and where they are now, it's something to marvel at. So I really want to say congratulations to Zim Papers and to the radio division, to Mr. Comfort Mbofana, to Yvonne, to the team at Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. Well done. Happy birthday, and please keep growing.
Oh, thank you so much, Napoleon. And once again to you as well. We wish you the very best of luck. Either way, anzi chero nepakona tongoti pakona pe shoulder muchirungo flyer Capitalk chero kwa murikuenda. So we will actually take on all of the success as well that you've been garnering as well. We're wishing you the very best in your new role with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, and of course hoping that all that you envision for the culture, the creative arts industry, tourism all come together and take Zimbabwe to the level that we all know it deserves to be at.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Once again, happy birthday, Capital.
Thank you very much. And we're waiting on the Gunans. Takazvimirira Gunans. Thank you so much. All right, so that was Napoleon Nyani there, the director of the National Arts Council here in Zimbabwe, and he's recently been appointed to the board of the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, and of course so many synergies and so many things that he was talking about there that obviously they'll be working on and that we need to work on as well if we are to grow our creative and culture industry here in Zimbabwe. That takes us to around about 4 minutes before the hour 7, before we get to the 7 o'clock news. And of course, hashtag 9 and fly. Tirukupisa Takadaro.
Capitalk 100.4 FM. 9 years strong, we bring the city alive. Hashtag 9 and fly. News that matters. Music that vibes and talk that captivates. Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat. #9 and fly.